For those who aren't aware of who I'm talking about today, I'm talking about VeeOneEye, who is now known as Vee3rdEye, but I will be calling Jason, for that is his name. In this live stream is what I'll be doing, and I'll be talking about the fact that I am bewildered, baffled and surprised as to how he's still allowed to have a YouTube channel, considering that certain people on this platform have been really heavily gone against and have really been, well, we've tried to deplatform so many people like Onision. I think, am I correct in thinking Onision is now demonetized? I think I'm correct in saying that. This guy, no consequences. And we're going to talk about why that's a problem and what he did. So I'm going to have to set the scene for you, because it involves other people as well. So we've got Jason, known as VeeOneEye, and he's like a scene YouTuber. He's part of like the British YouTubers. Other people involved in this include Sam Pepper. Now, I won't be going into Sam Pepper because I think he's been largely covered. If you don't know who Sam Pepper was or is, Sam Pepper was a prank channel who was originally exposed for doing pranks that were inappropriate towards women, and then was later accused of much more serious things with women. So that's Sam Pepper and Jason friends. Yay! Who else was Jason friends with? Edwin from Edwin's Generations, who's also now accused, allegedly, of also being a pest. But interestingly enough, who did Edwin come out and bat for? Karim, who is another British YouTuber who admitted to soliciting images, inappropriate images from teenagers. So imagine, if you will, a pinboard with a red string. You've got Jason, who's connected to Sam, right? And Jason, who's connected to Edwin, and Edwin, who's connected to Karim, and the other parties may also be connected to each other in a different way as well. But how is Jason a pest? 8 years ago, a video was uploaded to YouTube of a girl called Anya, who explained that she met up with Jason when she was 15 and he was 20 years old. He supplied her with alcohol and they were intimate. Now, first problem was the supplying with alcohol. It is illegal in the United Kingdom for an adult to supply a child under the age of 18 with alcohol. Second is the intimacy between them when she was 15, he was 20. The age of consent is a bit weird in the United Kingdom because even a 16-year-old and an 18-year-old, while legal, is a bit iffy because 18 is the age of legal adulthood. So technically, while legal, one's an adult and one's a child, so social services can still intervene. So when people tell you without a doubt a 16-year-old and somebody who's 18 plus is legal in the United Kingdom, technically yes, but also it's a bit iffy because one is an adult and one's a child. So we've got two problems herein. We've got the problem that she was supplied with alcohol, which can impact consent. I do believe in the video she talked about being plied with drink after drink, which would imply significant intoxication. When it comes to consent laws in the UK, you have to have a certain amount of intoxication before you can be considered unable to consent. But that doesn't matter anyway, you're still under the age of 16. So that's Jason. Oh, but that's not the end of it, because in the same year, another girl, in response to Anya's story, also came out and explained that Jason had pestered her for inappropriate and explicit images. Whether or not she sent the images, I think she said she didn't, but it's irrelevant because he still solicited those images. It's the same defense as Karim, the other guy you'll remember, used. I never actually received the images. Well, it doesn't matter. If you hire somebody, if you hire a hitman to off somebody else and they don't off that other person, it doesn't make you innocent. You still hired the hitman. It's the intention, it's the solicitation that still matters in this situation. How did Jason respond to these allegations Well, he uploaded an unlisted video to YouTube. An unlisted video, for those who are aware, is a video that you can only see if you have the link to that video. What he's doing in this is that he's addressing the situation and making the information available for those who know about the situation already and want to know more and hear his response, but also not making it public in a way where people who aren't aware of the situation can't find out about it. That in itself is very telling. What does man say in this video? What does Jason say in this video? He admits to what he did to Anya. He admits to it fully. And his explanation was, I was born into a Mormon family and I wasn't told about consent. Apart from the fact that you had to be the one to buy the alcohol and supply the alcohol to the 15-year-old because she's 15. People could argue that, well, there are places in the United Kingdom that are dodgy and will sell to underage people, but that's knocked out of the park when he admits to being the one to supply the alcohol. He also admits to the act. He admits to the act of what happened between them, which is statutory. So that's a thing that happened. Now you might think, okay, so why are you talking about this now? Why is this all coming up now? And it's because he's still around. All of this happened 8 years ago, right? 8 years ago. Let's read a comment response on a video that he made about his past, which was posted 2 years ago. So 2 years ago, he made a video going, my past, or talking about my past, or something like that. And people were thinking, at this point in time, it's been what? So it's 2 years ago, 8 years. It's been 6 years since the allegations, and he's admitted. And from what I can tell, the unlisted video that he made admitting to it is now deleted. So I don't know. Maybe if someone can find that link for me, maybe it's still unlisted. So people were thinking he was going to talk about this situation. Oh, no. He talks about everything but that situation. And somebody in the comments said, we thought you were going to talk about this. Why aren't you talking about this? You know, you should probably bring it up. Here's one of his responses. He said, in regards to the video about his past, there's a lot I cut out of the final edit. And then he talks about the situation. You have to remember that only her side got out. I couldn't contest it. Everything I tried to say back then was twisted, which silenced me. I'm sorry, what side? She told her side of the story, which you then confirmed. There is only one side. She told her side, then you told your side, which confirmed her side, so there is only one side. And what is the other side of the story? She forced you to buy the alcohol? She got, this 15-year-old girl got this 20-year-old guy against a wall and was like, you better buy me the alcohol. Like, what? No. She couldn't have bought it herself. You already admitted to buying it freely of your own volition anyway, so that doesn't matter. So I don't know what this side is. So since then, Jason has basically become a hippie, which is an insult to hippies. He's gotten into taking substances and become sober in the time that we've seen him. And he's doing something else which is not as egregious, obviously, as what he's done, but something that I want to talk about that I find personally offensive. People might call me an SJW for this, but whatever. He's become a hippie and he's now taken to free living and traveling, specifically across Asia. This is a problem. So he's living a life as a scene kid, and then he's exposed to doing horrific things, and then sometime down the line he becomes a hippie and he's all spiritual and he's trying to become enlightened. So what you're doing is you're doing poverty tourism to fill a hole in your life that you created by being an objectively horrible human being. He talks about he finds it hard to live in the United Kingdom and America because it's expensive, but third world countries are cheaper. The reason they're cheaper, sir, is because the people living there are in deep poverty. It's not because native Indonesians and native people in Thailand are running around going, wow, our countries are just so cheap to live in. It's incredible. We're so lucky to be born in Indonesia because it's so cheap for us. The reason it's cheap for you, sir, is because you're a white middle-class man, and I don't care that you claim that you were homeless at one point and lost all your money, because the reason that happened is because you solicited images from children and got another child intoxicated and was intimate with her. You brought that upon yourself, and now you're using poverty tourism by trying to fix that. You are using spirituality and ideas that are not native to yourself to fix a hole because you think it'll improve your image or make you whole as a person. I don't mind if people from other cultures pick up other spiritualities and religious beliefs. I'm Greco-pagan. However, I'm not a Greco-pagan because I did something awful to another human being, and I'm trying to make myself feel better about it and convince myself I'm a better person. That's not why I'm a Greco-pagan. So you taking up these spiritual ideas that come from Taoism and Buddhism is insulting, because you're only doing those things to make yourself feel better about the terrible things that you've done. That's what annoys me. I don't mind people who living on the road and doing all this travelling, but I find it strange that all of this only occurred after you did something terrible. And the funny thing is, well, it's not funny, there was another YouTuber before the whole Jason and Sam Pepper thing called Alex. I think his name was Alex Day or something like that. He also came out for being inappropriate with minors, and he also became a Buddhist or something. I'd like to say to white people right now, Buddhism is not your get out of free karmic relief card. You can't use Buddhism and ideas of spirituality to atone for things you've done. It's not how it works. So my advice to VeeOneEye is, first of all, shave off dreadlocks, which, by the way, after having them for 2 years, he tweeted out an image of 2 years of cultural appropriation. Honestly, find a really, really, really deep pit and bury yourself in it. Like I've said before, dreads, I'm not of Afro descent, not my monkeys, not my circus, I don't have any horses in this race. I personally wouldn't wear dreadlocks because I think they would look really bad on me, and honestly I don't have the hair texture for it. My hair's too naturally wavy and curly and not in the way that would suit dreads, if anything. But you know, so Afro descent people can I will support their rights to voice their own opinions on that, but I have no stakes in it. Just tweeting it out and rubbing it in people's faces that you're proud that you're culturally appropriating 2 years ago at a time where it was quite a hot topic. Oh, well, no, it was 2 years of him doing it. I don't know when the actual tweet happened. I think it might have been back when it was a really hot topic surrounding dreads and black culture. So that makes it even worse. I think now, nowadays, there are people that are still against it, but then there are also Africans who are also talking about the idea that they're not too bothered about it, and it's more of a nuanced discussion. But they were doing it at the height of people from black cultures talking about it. Not my horses, not my race, but that kind of indicates you're a bit of a prick, doesn't it? At the very least, wash them, because it's clear that you don't. And just leave the internet. That would be preferable. Thank you. And that's all I have to say. I think how he's still online and how he still has what? Let's have a look at this. 482,000 subscribers. And he's using other cultures to rebrand the fact that he's nonce. Incredible.